right, welcome back, everybody. My screen name is Covert Muffin, and we're going to be bringing you the next exciting randomizer match, which is going to be LusTher versus Meatshield in the second round of Swiss. Both of these runners have taken a loss in the first round, but this race itself could be pretty close. But joined with me is none other than Gecko for commentary. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, dude.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for this match, Gecko. Do you want to talk a little bit about Meatshield?
Yeah, so this is a one matchup. Meatshield has quite a bit of speed running knowledge under his belt, I think. He has done some old skills for this game already, so hopefully that will help him with like some of the tricks in the game, and has also done, I believe, some Hat in Time, and has done a bit of a play around with Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Both of those games can be mechanistically difficult, especially at the higher level of gameplay, but especially Super Meat Boy. The platforming mechanics in that game are pretty insane and really awesome to watch. And so I cannot wait to see what he brings to the table, right? Because he is relatively new to the randomizer itself, but already we've been seeing that type of play, and especially out of LusTher. I mean, I had to face him in the first round of the matchup, and when I rewatched the VOD, like some of the strats he was going for were things that I never would have considered when I just started playing the randomizer itself.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see when, certainly once you get more experience in the randomizer, you just see people suddenly adopt much more, probably I would say, more sophisticated tricks rather than just going for, okay, I could use time level up to get through that 4 energy door or something like that.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. That's such a good point, Gecko, because a lot of the skill combinations that you see, especially at the beginning of the seed to open up the logic, which just basically means getting us access to more and more pickups, can be very, very different than what you might experience from a normal playthrough of Ori, or let alone the speedrun itself. So, going to be so excited to see what sort of seed that is going to end up unraveling for our runners here today. But Gecko, speaking of types of openers, which one are you hoping to see here for our runners today?
I want to see just a lot of keystones. I like a lot of
Oh
keystones
man.
because I find that a lot of keystones, like beginning, it allows people to decide, like, as much as it can be slower to go all the way around the top over the basically following the vanilla way through the game. You do also find a lot of pickups going that way around, even though it is a bit of a scenic route, but at the same time, like, it does allow for quite a bit of sequence breaks sometimes.
Yeah, it really does. I'm hoping for a jet seed, man. I want to see all those skills. Maybe a dash, maybe an early grenade jump seed, maybe another bash grenade seed, as we saw in our previous match that we just aired. But here we go. It looks like LusTher is going to be on the left, Meatshield on the right. Also, make sure to open that extra tab, folks, and go over to twitch.tv to speed gaming, because we have another randomizer match going on over there, and watch both of these matchups because they could be very exciting. And here we go. Our runners are underway there, Gecko.
Yep, and it looks like they're both going to be going for color shift.
Excellent. Yeah, in the first pickup they're coming across you
Oh
is
no.
the Grove Teleporter. So that is going to open up for a potential early charge flame tree. So that could be interesting to see if the seed is just expecting our runners to go to the teleporter immediately and teleport out to that Hollow Grove.
Yeah, it's interesting when that sort of thing happens, because without wall interaction, going down to charge flame tree, you actually have a choice to make. You can either just go straight to the charge flame tree and then have to leave. Oh, and there's wall jump.
Oh man. The
Or
early wall interaction that you love to see, but I also hope to just never see. I like my climb seeds, man, or my no wall interaction seeds.
just grenade bashing everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, and then also like if you get climb, then if you get charge jump, then you also have that synergy. And like there's some stuff you can do with bash grenade where you can throw grenades while holding onto a wall. But wall jump definitely is very, very nice. Just being able to jump infinitely off of a wall is just a saving grace. And now we're going to see the next pickup, which is just going to be this keystone down here, and it is going to be drumroll. Another keystone. Wow. Okay. So if they find one more keystone, this is going to get our runners access to left glades, or maybe they're just going to have to make the play for Blackroot Burrows.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm having a bit of technical difficulties
No,
here.
that's okay. That's completely fine. So we see an energy cell as that pickup right there. So not quite being able to travel in glades, but oh, LusTher went for the swim, but took a death and had to go all the way back to sign. So does
Oh,
not
that's
have
rough.
the keystone or the energy cell, but maybe he's just gonna say, oh no, he is gonna backtrack for those pickups. Having that second energy cell is nice. It gets us a bit of safety for going through Blackroot Burrows.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. If you do end up with that happening, it can be a decent playoff to just know that you already have checked those, and maybe just go to an area that you are still to clear out.
Yeah, for sure. And wow, look at this Meatshield on the right, making the power play. Blackroot Burrows has a couple more pickups that would be at his disposal, but just deciding instead to go down for that charge flame tree. So here he just has to watch a bit of a cutscene, which happens when you teleport at that teleporter and you don't hold left. And so this is going to allow him to heal at this waypoint for the rest of the seed, which is going to be nice. And we're going to see if this play pays off, as well as if LusTher is also going to make this. Wow, LusTher also making the same play, so no advantage here from the power play coming for Meatshield.
I do like this because it is rare that you do find like blue wall breaking in BRB sometimes. Like you can find it, but it's quite often you'll just find another skill that allows you to progress a bit further.
Yeah,
And it's it's kind of a mashup because going here as well is that when you go into Blackroot now you will have your third clue straight away.
yeah, for sure. And also just like them not having access to glades for wall jump tree quite yet is going to allow them to just check this tree off for that clue, as you mentioned. And yeah, here we go. Just a mapstone, but hey, that mapstone, if they end up doing Boulder Escape, could warrant them to get a nice little pickup. So we're going to see if that mapstone coming in is actually going to be important. But oh, look at this tech from LusTher on the left. This is actually really clever. Starting a save anywhere to be able to activate the tree, then level up the ability point. Yep, there it is. And he's going to sit, quit, and reload. And this is going to cause the blue wall here on the right to not actually be there. It's going to allow him to run across and run through. Normally you need grenade or charge flame or charge dash to be able to break through that wall, or verticality to get up and over. So really nice route there from LusTher. That is not a normal strat we see somebody new to the randomizer make.
Yeah, it's not something that I've ever tried to do myself actually. So it certainly saves you having to make a trip again to go back there.
Yeah, and so here we go. Both of our runners have to actually end up coming into Blackroot Burrows because they don't have the resources or the skills to be able to progress anywhere else. And so we're just going to see our runners traveling through. So we have wall interaction, Gecko. What are you hoping for the next progression item? Maybe some verticality with charge jump or double jump, or maybe seeing those tons of keystones as you mentioned, or maybe even a teleporter.
I mean, it's quite interesting. It's possibly quite interesting because you could in theory make the power play if you find one keystone here to just straight away go over to glades where there's a lot more pickups. Or you could just continue on in Blackroot and hope that you do find your progression inside here.
Yeah, ooh, and Meatshield struggling with his dump. He also took a couple of deaths, and so that allowed LusTher to actually like catch up and be able to pull a tiny bit of a lead here. So both of our runners checking it, finding experience, altaring out, and then coming back into Grotto. And this doesn't necessarily save much of any time from just carrying the orb as the vanilla to like go through the death lasers and stuff. But oh no, LusTher takes a fall in the main area and so has to alt R again. And so now Meatshield pulling back in just a tiny bit of a lead.
I believe from where he fell to, it is possible to save that by just climbing back up and then standing next to the door that you would normally go past if you were on your V up normally. It's a scary jump, that one.
Yeah, Meatshield just barely missing, or excuse me, just barely being able to nail that jump. It's kind of hard to see, but the platform on the left extends out a little bit further than you think. But it still is a pretty precise jump. But LusTher getting it second try, nicely done. Not losing too much time from that one fall, but Really nice, quick decision making. Oh no!
Me.
Yeah, Meatshield wanting to be able to check that pickup over on the left, just barely misses that jump from the platform, and it's going to have to ride the cycles up again. This has just not been a kind Blackroot Burrows to either of our runners so far, Gecko.
Yeah, LusTher actually dropping the orb to get that slight bit of extra speed so he can make it over the top without having to get on the cycles. And we do see Charge Flame at the top of Blackroot as well.
Yeah, I really want to see that glide pickup, Gecko, like maybe in the main room down here, and then they have to actually end up gliding over to check the plant above Dash Tree. Oh, that would be such a truly way to start the seed.
That would be terrible, but now with Charge Flame, it does put the whole of the Spider Sack area next to Charge Flame into Logic. And by being going over there, both players made the trip over there, so now they will have to go back again if they want to go and explore that area.
And we're also getting word that Meatshield actually ended up pulling the lever to lower a crucial pillar to be able to get access to Spider Sack area a little bit faster. Whereas LusTher actually opted to not do that on his visit to that Sea Flame tree. So that would give Meatshield a tiny bit. There's climb. Oh man, 1/3 of the way to being able to unlock grenade jumps. But already having wall jump, climb isn't too important, but it could actually end up paying off as we progress through the seed.
Quite a nice healthy seed to begin with as well. Finding early health.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because
LusTher's taking a fall.
Yeah, that fall is brutal. Just slipping through the platform, just going to have to go back over. Not too bad because after the cutscene ends, it actually ends up saving the game for them. Jumping over, and he is going to find Wind Restored. Yeah, and he alts R, so he actually ends up opting to keep this. I really like this play. Finding Wind Restored this early in the seed increases the chance that there could be a Glide Wind Restored gated pickup. That is in Logic. And so down here on the right.
Behind.
Yeah. So on the right here, this pickup actually is in Logic right now. It's only a keystone.
But does now open Glades up as well, though. So there's a lot actually open for our runners to go and check that is all in Logic now.
Oh wow, and we're getting a word also that Meatshield actually ended up missing that Wind Restored pickup. So we're going to see if that actually ends up gaining LusTher a bit of an advantage as we progress into the mid game of this seed. But here we go, Meatshield, what he's doing right now, and I'm guessing that LusTher is also going to do is a bit of a sequence break. This is not in Logic quite yet, but ooh, that pickup of the Mega Energy there, Gecko.
Yeah, that is quite big if these runners do enjoy just sequence breaking out of Logic and hoping that they do find something. And another energy cell from the map stone as well.
Yeah, that's nice. And then Meatshield's going to come over here. Just an ability cell under the boulder, but wow, I really like this too. LusTher is following in his opponent's footsteps, and he's going to come in here and end up checking through this boulder escape as well. And Meatshield making the play for left plates.
Yeah, he can actually get back up into the grove area through the bottom of Charge Flame if he decides that that's what he wants to do. And is now going to get the information about the Poison Swim, which is just the ability cell.
Yeah, so opting to spend the 2 keystones there, it's a little bit of a weird play using the Hollow Grove teleporter to be able to get down into the Glades area with that Charge Flame pickup, but that would have allowed him to actually enter Spirit Caverns right here and check a bunch of pickups before heading down to the wall jump tree. But that's okay. He's most likely going to be able to find the keystones down here to not have to backtrack too hard to get access to Spirit Caverns. And LusTher making the play with the Mega Energy to open this door. We're going to see if he immediately decides to go through it and go into Moon Grotto. Nope, I like this. Just opening the door, expending that temporary energy, and then going over to the left and Glade.
Yeah, they could find plenty. If there are a lot of keystones here, they could just follow the vanilla way through the game and then come back at Grove through Spirit Caverns. It's unlikely that they'll do that just because it's kind of a waste of 4 keystones when you've got the teleporter.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And here we go. Meatshield now is going to be progressing through, just finds experience so far. Nothing too much to talk of. The tricky thing, as Gecko, you pointed out, is that Spider Sack area actually is in the Logic. So a huge portion of the right side of the map is actually open to our runners. So even though Glades has a good chance of having progression. Also, a huge portion of the right side of the map is also open to logic.
But I mean, at the moment, it just seems to have turned out to be this is the area to go if you want to get your XP.
Yeah, and so now Meatshield is going to be the first to get down here to Wall Jump Tree, and we are going to get the first clue of the seed, which is going to reveal the general location for Watervein, Sunstone, or Gumon Seal. And that clue is Sunstone in Grove.
Now, one interesting thing I want to point out actually is by clearing, they've basically cleared everything in Glades now. Like, they've got Spirit Caverns, fair enough, but if they do end up having to find something that is on a map stone, the map stand in Glades is quite a long way out of the way. And LusTher taking a death to the spikes, actually, just above Wall Jump Tree.
Yeah, that spike jump can be pretty tricky to get. You have to like take a damage boost and then jump back on them within the duration of iframes to be able to get up that climb without having to use the block. So we're gonna see him go for it again on the left. He gets it, nicely done. And Meatshield making the play for the valley entrance because there are 3 pickups here that he could actually end up checking. The one up top on the tree, I'm guessing he's not going to go for. He might know the wall jump to get up towards the plant, but first he's going to be checking the stomp pickup. It's an ability cell, all right. Yeah, and opting, maybe he just doesn't know about the plant wall jump trick to be able to get up there, but it looks like Meatshield's going over to Spider Sack area.
Might be just a case of he's waiting to get more skills just to make those checks faster. Because with just wall jump, it can be quite slow to get those pickups.
Yeah, for sure. And so now Meatshield, already having lowered this column here that he just jumped on and off of, yeah, opting to kill these guys for a little bit of safety. You can actually end up being able to get over, but recognizes that his energy... Oh no, the plant! That's right, the plant at Sea Flame Tree. Nice level up there to refill his energy back to full, but it was just an ability cell. But nice check from him as LusTher making the play, using that Mega Energy to open up Death Golem and then go in up! Baits the Frankie into the poison water. Nicely done. Oh my goodness.
I like the thinking on Meatshield as well. Like just remembering that he couldn't get that plant when he first went there. So remembering to pick it up on his second pass through, meaning that it's another pickup that is just out of the way once you've gone past it once.
Yeah, it's really good, and LusTher now is going to be entering Moon Grotto. Meatshield, his pathway is also searching areas that are technically in the logic, so progression could be over here, but LusTher's path is going to take him to the Moon Grotto TP a little bit sooner, and it's going to have him closer to 2 trees. So if he ends up finding that vital progression he's looking for, such as charge jump, or maybe even something like double jump, he's going to be able to check a lot of this area, and the density in Grotto is definitely nice when you have charge flying.
Yeah, Meatshield is going to be able to get the swamp TP though, so that could come into play if we don't see LusTher getting the swamp TP from a pickup, then he'll also have to make that trip to go and collect that as well.
Right, for sure, and nice trick here from LusTher. He's going to be glitching this bridge here to get a little bit of height, and he's, as the camera pans down, he's going to be over collecting that vanilla water vein pickup, and then coming over here to nice save and save again over the trigger of the cutscene to be able to despawn that cutscene, and then progress on through to check this experience. And it's just still experience, and he's going to be able to fall down and check one more extra thing. Nicely done, as Meatshield over on the right is in Hollow Grove.
Yep. So it looks like we're going to see quite a few left side checks from LusTher first, before heading down to the double jump tree. It is a nice sort of group of things that you collect. And glide! That's so nice. Now he could just float right back out into the top of Grotto if he wants to.
Yeah, that's really nice, especially with the wind restored pickup. As you mentioned, there is actually an updraft in here. That the game's like, well, you can have this late game to be able to float and check pickups. And so all those pickups that LusTher actually checked might have been logic. They might not have been because of the plant location. But either way, LusTher is going to be happy with that. And opting not to check the Frankie Walk pickup quite yet, maybe just deciding to go to some other areas first. And yeah, he's going to be going back to the Moon Grotto teleporter in order to make leeway in another location.
Now, one thing that's going to be really interesting is that finding that wind restored pickup in Black Creek Burrows, Meatshield doesn't have that, and also like when he comes down to Grotto and finds Glide, he might be thinking, okay, so I found Glide early, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll find wind restored early as well. And
Right.
there are quite a few pickups that Meatshield was not able to check in the Grove area that at the moment with LusTher's skill set he could check quite easily.
Yeah, for sure. And there's just a Sigma 1 EXP. I really like this use of saving up above from LusTher and then realizing that the backtrack actually would have taken more time than just menuing back to that save. So he recognized the 1 EXP, he doesn't need that, and so just doing that and going back out. But Meatshield, after collecting Swamp Teleporter, decided to Alt-R and head back to check Spirit Cavern. So we're going to see if something important is in here.
I hope. Oh, the water vein.
All right, Water Vein getting them access to Ginso Tree, but they don't quite have the skills that they ended up needing to be able to get through Water Vein quite yet. But with just some form of verticality or bash and some form of verticality is going to allow them to get through Ginso Tree really, really nicely, as LusTher making the play to just start pushing trees as soon as he can.
Yeah, for Ginso Tree, I think it's pretty much just a case if you needed double jump, charge jump, or grenade and bash as basically the main combos of verticality to get through Ginso Tree, and we do see LusTher going for the Frankie Walk XP.
Yeah, just an ability cell. This is the brutal thing when you get something like Hollow Grove TP and then Sea Flame and wall interaction. It just opens up so much of the right side of the map. And we've seen our runners go through different routes to cover a lot of that volume, but the only thing we've really found is Glide Wind Restored to talk of. And then now, it's just what locations could have that progression? But LusTher also making the play for Spirit Cavern, so he is also going to be able to find that Water Vein. Meatshield's not quite having an advantage there, but he's going to be the first to check Swamp. And this could be the next big area that could be gating that progression.
The one thing I really hope for Meatshield is that there is not anything significant on the left XP just next to the Ginso Tree. Because when LusTher heads over there, he can just glide straight up to that pickup.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And also, Meatshield having been through a good portion of that Spider Sack area, which is considered to be part of Hollow Grove. And our runners do know that the clue for Sunstone is in Hollow Grove. So having that informational advantage, he hasn't been down to Lower Moon Grotto yet, but he has been through Spider Sack area. And so that is a play that I could definitely see LusTher going for next. All right, we're also getting word from the truck, thanks guys, that the plant in the valley entry is now considered to be part of Glide, because you can just wall jump up to both check that experience at the top of the tree, and then I'm guessing with Glide, you can just end up jumping over and being able to check that plant. But Meatshield now in Swamp, checking some stuff. That Poison Swim I don't believe is in logic because you have to swim out of it, and so still nothing yet, as he now is going to be progressing into Moon Grotto.
Yeah, he will be pretty much just retracing the same steps that LusTher's done, just as LusTher is now probably going to be following the same steps that Meatshield has taken. So there's not going to be really much new. There's not really going to be much new information. However, LusTher can check this pickup just above Sea Flame Tree with the abilities he has, I think. Not quite.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight jump, but you can definitely make it over there. If you actually get this block swinging, that helps a bit, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it's a really tight jump. But yeah, also I want to point out that we have wall jump, we have glide, and we have sea flame. So what pickup in BRB is open to us, Gecko?
Oh God.
That's it. Yup, it's the dash plant. So dash plant being in logic is tricky, but Meatshield, I really like this play from him. On the right, he's actually going through this 2 energy door vault, and this pickup up here, takes a death, Is he going to go back for it? I hope he does, because that pickup with only wall jump is in logic. It's just really annoying to get to because these slimes are trolls. But
LusTher on the
LusTher,
left tried to get the energy glitch. Managed to get it just now. Did get it earlier. Unfortunately, he managed to go back into range. So picked up the energy again from the door. So he had to try and do it again.
oh, that's tough. And LusTher now making the play for Spider Sack area, which we've seen Meatshield go through. And Meatshield is coming over to this pickup on the right, so he's actually not going to get access to that early glide pickup. Oh man.
I don't believe we saw the mini boss from LusTher though, and seeing as Meatshield didn't put a save down, he might go for it. Unfortunately, he's just gonna walk back out, I think.
No, yeah, it looks like he's just going to walk back out. It can take a good bit of time if you're not comfortable with the Sea Flame redirect. And LusTher, with his sequence break to open that 4 energy door, doesn't end up finding anything, is not useful, but that's okay. It's still a really nice informational advantage. And picking up the map zone, he's going to be able to turn this in across the way and catch up on that 2 map zone turn in that we see Meatshield posting right now.
Yeah. Looks like Meatshield's just going to be heading back down to double jump as well, so I don't think we're going to see any new information right now unless LusTher... Actually, LusTher can check the ability cell at the top of the tree in this main grove area.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Which we didn't see from Meatshield at the time.
Yeah, so this is actually a nice sort of routing advantage coming for LusTher this early. So if this pickup is in progression, it is not. It's just an ability cell. But still, that is very, very nice. Being able to go through these areas and check more pickups reduces the amount of time that he might have to spend backtracking.
Yeah. So we will be seeing LusTher probably just make his way round into Swamp as well, get his Swamp Teleporter, and then I wonder if he'll open up the Ginso tree if he goes past it, or if he's just going to teleport away once he's done this.
Yeah, we are going to find out. In this pickup here, the Stomp Cell, it's just experience. Where is progression, man? Oh, jeez. There's so many brutal one-offs that could be.
Yeah, I mean, there is one-off that I could think of, and that is the plant just below the grotto TP. But other than that, I believe probably, as you were saying, probably in Valley Entry.
Yeah, the dash plants are the plant above dash trees in logic. The Valley Entry, there's 2 pickups there. Oh, geez, like, what else besides the things we've listed? I'm just trying to rack my brain of all of these potential locations.
There is one plant in Swamp that Meatshield couldn't get over to because he didn't have he doesn't have glide still. We might be able to see that from LusTher, and actually LusTher going for the XP just in Iceless area as well. This is something that he can get to with climb and wall jump.
Ooh,
there's 4 energy.
4 energy. That opens up the vault in Lower Grotto. So it could also end up being there if our runners opt to check that. But LusTher just having to wait for his save to come off cooldown, and then he's going to glitch out these lasers. I like this decision. And, oh man, Meatshield. When he was first around here, he opened the bridge and was not able to get over to the right because he didn't get enough height. So, oh man, just not getting over there is pretty brutal. But hopefully he's gonna.
Couldn't get across to that either.
Oh man.
Hopefully, when he goes down again, he might just go straight for the play onto that left side after taking that death. He will find his glide, so when he comes to do the top part here again, just wall jump and glide, and he should be able to make it across.
Yeah, and falling down is what he's doing. Oh, he wants this ability cell check up here. I like this just climbing back up because he missed landing on the ledge. It's just a keystone, but still going to be good to just guarantee he doesn't have to backtrack for that pickup. And now we are going to see Meatshield find that glide pickup of his own momentarily. And there it is. So now he has glide, but oh man.
Doesn't have that wind restored though.
Yeah, no wind restored. Oh, that's so tough. But luckily, as we've seen from LusTher's checks, that wind restored has not come into play yet. So definitely not working against him so far. But I can't imagine that he would just make the decision to go back and check that pickup.
Yeah, it's probably one of those one-offs. The next time, oh, the seed has been nice and trolly today. We found the 1 XP, and now we found the game's version of the 1 XP. The warmth returned in the bottom of Grotto.
Yeah, just oof. Just big oof. This seed, man, is so brutal. But now LusTher making the play, going back to the Hollow Grove TP. So maybe he does know. Wait, how did Meatshield die there? What?
The spider sniped him as he was gliding across the spikes.
Oh man, MLG 360 douche snipe. Oh man, but yeah, here we go. LusTher now making the play for the Valley entrance pickups. These are in logic, all 3 of these, I believe. So we're gonna see if he decides to work his way up to check those. He's running out of options, and he does. He knows that you can climb up this wall over on the left with just wall jump. It is brutal, and the pickups are pretty tricky. I mean, the jumps themselves are really tricky and precise.
He does have climb as well, so that does make it quite easy to index yourself on the wall. A lot easier, so you can actually just hold on once you've jumped across rather than possibly sliding down and hitting the spikes.
All right, and he gets up. That was the tricky portion. Now he just has to get past this bird. Yeah, there it is. Okay, he's going to check this experience pickup over here. It's an energy cell. And the plant. The plant. It's just a keystone. What? Where is progression?
At this point, I think it's got to be below. It's got to be either the 4 energy at the bottom of Oh.
Meatshield, get up! Oh man, dude, getting past these can just be so brutal. Nice thing is that they do have a quick flame upgrade, and as long as he's careful, he will be completely fine working through it. But glide and climb really make this getting through this section a lot easier. And okay, so here's the health cell check.
Oh, double! That is terrible to the extreme.
Oh, look at this! LusTher's also making the play, so he's going to find double jump. But this just opens up so many pickups that are across the seed. Oh man, my voice is cracking. With this...
Oh no! Meatshield took a death before he didn't save after getting. Oh, he does still have double jump. He's lucky. I thought he had to do all of that again.
Oh, thank goodness, man. Oh, yeah, and LusTher finding the double jump pickup is going to be making the play for lower Grotto. So this is going to be an intense portion of the match because we're going to see our runners diverge in their path and decide which pickups they're going to check for. LusTher, with that energy advantage, is also going to have the vault in his play. But here it is. Is this pickup going to be huge for LusTher, or is this pickup on the right?
Stomp!
Wow. Yeah, LusTher finds Stomp on the left with that double jump gated pickup. Drops the save immediately and is now going to be making a play for the vault. Meatshield takes a death, but he is going to be working his way up to this upper grotto portion as well as Swamp to be able to check some pickups up here. So if you find something like Bash or Dash, that could also be huge.
Yeah, so for me, for LusTher down here, there is actually a 3rd pickup that he could check just above him. It's really kind of long. You've got to follow Gumo through all this like spike maze, and it's just really obnoxious to go and collect. So I don't think we'll see it unless the seed is going to continue being this trolly, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that pickup, like doing the pillar puzzle, is really, really rough and takes a while to get to. But now with double jump, Meatshield knows there are some pickups here in Hollow Grove that he missed that we have seen LusTher actually check. And LusTher knows that C-Flame can break that, so he doesn't have to do it casually.
Just keystones.
Keystones. Oh man.
There are a couple of pickups. Okay, he's not going to be heading into Glades. There are a couple of pickups in Glades as well now that are unlocked with double jump. Looks like he's making a play back over to Swamp. They're both heading for Ginso Tree.
I like this play. There's a lot of density in here for Meatshield, and he has enough keystones to be able to make it to Bash Tree. The only scary thing about entering Ginso right now is without Bash and without triple jump, you actually or some form of verticality, you can't actually end up progressing past Bash Tree. So it's going to be really, really intense if LusTher is able to find that progression before going up for Ginso Tree. But Meatshield making the play.
Bash Tree or bust, dude.
Yeah, and here we go. So Meatshield now checking the plant in Ginso. It's a mapstone, so mapstone progression could still be a thing because they only ended up turning in 2 mapstones apiece. And there's lots of
Now,
map pedestals open to them.
a question I want to ask you is, if you find Bash in here, would you continue and go into Swamp just through doing the Ginzo escape, or would you just find another way in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much density right after Ginso Tree that could just be locking the next thing of progression. But also, there is something reasonable, as your tone implies, that just altaring out and saying Bash is my go mode is a play. So it all comes down to if the runners prefer to do it. But also, LusTher having Stomp as that additional skill that his opponent doesn't have knows that he can get access to certain areas. Like this pickup over here for LusTher on the left is open in logic with Stomp. And it is Bash! Oh man!
That's huge.
That is huge. Oh, that is so huge for LusTher. The
And
Stomp,
that LusTher's just gonna do Swamp entry.
yeah, wow. What a play from LusTher. This is definitely could be the match defining moment for his play. Just having double jump, heading back down into Moon Grotto to find Stomp, and then make the play for the Swamp pickups to find Bash. This is just such a hard decision to be made, and LusTher made the correct one.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Meatshield made any wrong plays. It's just that LusTher just doing this extra little bit of cleanup in Swamp has netted him so much.
Yeah, and we're going to see if that also pays off for ways if LusTher decides to continue on to the upper portions above Bash Tree. Meatshield finds Dash at Bash Tree. What is this seed, dude? What is this seed? Meatshield is going to be feeling pretty good about that pickup.
Yeah, that with all the skills that we have found now, that does put Light Grenade Tree into logic without needing to do any zombie or shenanigans.
Yeah, and we're also getting an update here. That's a really good point, actually, is that finding Dash is going to be pretty simple for LusTher to do. Like, it's only a matter of time until he makes that play for Ginso Tree. I mean, with Bash and double jump and enough keystones, right? Whereas Meatshield needs to find Stomp. He needs to then go back up towards Swamp entry to be able to pick up Bash. And that is not an easy decision to make.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there is one hope for Meatshield, and that is that he finds Charge Jump somewhere, because that would then at least net him the opportunity to find Bash if he decides to take that top way into Swamp still.
Yeah, that's a really...
Or it would be a case of, yeah, he would have to go and find that Stomp pickup back in the bottom of Moon Grotto.
Yeah, it's a good point. And now, like, we're kind of in the mode of lumberjack mode, or is a phrase coined to sort of give the idea that we just want to be pushing skill trees right now for our runner. However, in Hollow Grove, there are grenade-gated pickups where our Sunstone could be. So they are very close to go mode, but maybe if they do need grenade to be able to finish out the seed, this could actually turn out to be a bit of a longer seed.
Yeah, there are two pickups in Grove that are locked behind grenade. So if we find, I believe we found Forlorn Teleporter early, we could, in theory, even though it's not in logic, we could just, okay, it looks on Meatshield we didn't find Forlorn TP. But if we did, then we could just go and get that grenade pickup from the end of Forlorn Escape.
Yeah, and like this is exactly what I was talking about at the introduction. On the left, LusTher making the play for Light Grenade Tree. Doesn't have dash yet, but just by setting up a zombie warrior to be able to get past the laser, and then knowing exactly how to bash that Baneling, which is not an easy thing to do, all while having a save anywhere up. It's just showing the caliber of speedrunner that LusTher is. He's new to the randomizer, but it sure as heck does not seem like it. Very impressive play from him so far. But yeah, so like what sorts of pickups here, Gecko, could our runners be to hopefully progress the seed even more? I mean, we have Stomp, we have Dashing and Bash on the board for our runners, but is there anything else that they could be looking for?
I mean, the only thing I could think that they might still want to... I mean, if they're not in, like, for LusTher, if he's not in go mode already, then the only thing he's possibly hoping for is maybe Grenade. And that's just to make sure that he's not going to get stuck behind needing to find that grenade pickup in order to get his Sunstone.
Yeah, for sure. And also something like a left side teleporter would have sped up this section right here that we see LusTher going through. But like that was a really good point. Like if he's not in go mode already, we actually even see him delaying Ginso tree to make a play for left side early. LusTher definitely knows that he's supposed to be pushing trees right now, as evident from his play, but also just putting off Ginso tree is an interesting decision.
Yeah, I didn't actually notice that LusTher hadn't gone to Bash Tree to get his dash before going to Light Grenade.
But yeah, I mean, he certainly does have everything he could ever want to be able to make this play over to Glide Tree. Just, he has double jump, he has glide, he has stomp, he has bash, right? So even if he decides not to do the fast stompless strategy, using a spider shot, he could just end up floating up through pretty easily. But Meatshield's taking a death here. It looks like Meatshield may be making a play to try and find the Sunstone a little bit earlier in this seed, instead of trying to garner for pickups. And I like this play. He knows he's not really quite in go mode, so there could be a pickup that is over here at this pickup on the way to forward fields. But yeah, here we go. LusTher just double bashing a bird around. Kind of a silly play right now. I mean, he has Wind Restored and Glide. Yeah, there it is. So he doesn't need to double bash anything to check that pickup. Find 7 experience for his trouble, and now he's going to be working his way over to the Glide Tree.
Yeah, I wonder if those were just frustration bashes on the bird, considering the fact that it took him a couple of attempts to get to that ability cell.
Yeah, dude, that bird. But yeah, here we go. Oh, this is really cool. So he's opting to not actually do fast stompless. Instead, he's going to try and bring the spider shot over. This is kind of tricky because he actually did not activate the cutscene trigger yet. So the birds here can get into the way. Oh, yeah, and he misses the shot. Yeah, and he's just going to abandon it and quit and reload to try again, most likely.
Yeah. Interesting that he goes for this strat, considering the fact that he has all of the tools that he needs to just break it anyway. I mean, I know that it does skip the cutscene, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, just failing this once even is probably going to be losing him that substantial time. And LusTher is really sticking with this, just having that iron-willed mentality as he's going through. But no, yeah, I like this play. Just trying it a few times and saying, you know what, I could just do the easy thing. And this really doesn't cost too much more time, even compared to something like fast stopless.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Meatshield right now. Still doesn't have Stomp, and is going over pretty much exactly where we know Bash is. Obviously, he doesn't know that, but
yeah, this is a really tricky position here for Meatshield. It's like, what do you do, right? Just maybe not put it on, wanting to just put off that Moon Grotto revisit with double jump, because he's already been down there, and to activate the treat. And oh man, this is just definitely further extending LusTher's lead, as now he has just picked up his glide tree and has the capability of going up to Sorrow instead. Oh man, I really wish he would just make that Ginso play.
If he made the Ginso play, it would have made this even faster, because he could have just rocket jumped up to the top here.
Yeah, for sure. But LusTher making the play for Sorrow. This is still a really good decision. There is a tree in here, and he knows it's at his disposal. And even checking a couple of extra pickups, maybe if he just finds that one convenient thing to make the rest of the seed even more smooth going for him.
I wonder how he's going to do the Sorrow, because he doesn't have his dash yet, so he can't rocket jump the thing. Oh, he's gonna just do this double bash chain, which is really quite tricky.
Yeah, he has to get it, like, navigated through this platform section, and this frog can get in the way. The frog, though, is kind, and he's able to get it past their first try. What? Who is this? Man, this is so crazy. That strat is a lot more difficult than he got. And yeah, we're seeing, like, wows and stuff. It was like, that was really impressive. Like, hats off to LusTher. This guy just keeps blowing my mind whenever I watch him pick up the rando.
Clean water. This just makes the escape free now. I mean, turn this game all the way down to baby mode.
Yeah, wow, what a play from LusTher, and he's gonna get charge jump tree really fast. and just head on over. And what's he's got left, really? He has to find Sunstone. He has to visit the Misty Woods to be able to collect Climb Tree, and then he has to just go up to Bash Tree. And he has plenty of skills and abilities to be able to make that those sections pretty easy to work through.
I'm not 100% sure what his keystone count is right now. He might have to do. He might have to just hope for one keystone. I think he's on 3 at the moment.
Yeah, and we have been talking about LusTher a lot because what he's been doing has just been so insane. But I also want to give mad props to Meatshield. He's recognizing that there are a good number of pickups over here with the skills that he actually ends up having that he could check. And so with the rocket jump here, he can actually make it up to the health cell. Nice, he gets up there, and it's only a keystone sub. But it looks like he's on the right path here, Gecko. If he actually just makes the play to go back down into Moon Grotto, that
it looks
could
like that's what he's doing.
Up.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's doing, because I think at this point he's pretty much exhausted just a lot of one-off areas. And this is sort of like the only dense area of the map that he still has. So by the looks of things, yeah, he's going to be getting his stomp incredibly soon. It's just a wonder if he goes straight to the valley entry to just, well, if he heads back up towards Swamp, because he has already been over there a second time. So he might not decide to go over there, so he might still not find his bash.
Yes, still no bash pickup for Meatshield, and that's really like what he wants to find for that go mode. And so I do like this decision from him to come down and check the vaults. This isn't logic because he has tons of energy and the capability of checking those pickups. But it's just like, oh man, how much time is going to go into before he finds bash? LusTher definitely in a really strong lead. It's going to take something really critical from Meatshield to be able to come back in.
Yeah, or Grenade just being in terrible spot.
yeah, actually, that is a possibility. Sunstone with those 2 positions that could be grenade gated could really come into play.
With actually finding clean water in Sorrow Pass as well, that's even more terrifying because that puts it almost anywhere. And there's charge jump in Misty as well.
Wow, what a place for charge jump to be. LusTher just with the extra check. He's saying, you know, I'm just going to check a few pickups that are in my direct path, just in case I find something big. And there indeed was something big. That was charge jump. So
yeah,
not that he needs it, but just makes some portions nice.
2/3 of the way there now, Muffin.
Yeah. So nice play here also from Meatshield. He has Stomp, he has Dash, and so he knows that Light Grenade Tree is in logic. So really nice read from him to just be very cognizant, even after this mentally exhausting 40 minutes of digging from him, is going to know that this is a reasonable play to find a potential location for progression. But yeah, LusTher just making the play saying, hey, I just really need that Sunstone find. And so he's checking some pickups here that are going to be considered in Hollow Grove before working his way through. And I'm guessing he's now going to make his way up to Ginso Tree.
I can't remember. Is the 4 energy in Gauntlet classed as Grotto or?
Yes.
I cannot remember.
It's considered as Grove. So in Death Gauntlet, that 4 energy door in the water section is considered to be part of Hollow Grove.
Well, I think we just sort of lost to skip it. I didn't quite pay attention fully, but I think he just left that one behind. So if that is Sunstone as well, that could be really quite catastrophic if he just mentally has that one checked off in his head.
Yeah, we're getting confirmation that he did indeed skip it, and so that could be a pretty big play. But LusTher may be forgetting that he still has to go.
Wind, finally.
Yes, oh, Meatshield, nice. Finding Wind Restored is going to be a nice pickup for him. Not that he really needs it anymore, but it does make getting up to Sorrow really easy.
Yeah, I mean, he does still have all of the left side, so it's nice to have it, so...
Yeah, and so far, so nothing for this Hollow Grove dig from LusTher. He's going to be doing the swim section next, and it is only an ability cell. So there still are a couple of other pickups that LusTher has to check, but we're starting to whittle down. How many more are just not going to be Sunstone, and brings that count even closer to having Sunstone be gated by a grenade pickup.
Yeah, I believe there's just this pickup above Charge Flame Tune, and then I think besides the grenade gated pickups, it's just Horror Fields that we have left.
Yeah, for sure. And so he's going to be checking this
And
pickup.
it's
Only
just XP.
Yeah, and Meatshield on the right making a play for lower black root, trying to find that bash pickup, man. Where is it?
He could possibly find grenade down here as well.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, I think that was the last pickup that could have been grenade.
Yeah, here we go. LusTher, good cognizant that this swim pickup is open to him with clean water and with stomp, and so he's going to be coming over here, be able to check the pickup, and this could potentially be Sunstone. And now Meatshield also on the right does not have bash, but also has not quite checked these pickups up above in Valley, I believe, to be able to guarantee that progression is not here. So bash could be up there potentially for him, but we know it's not as commentators and viewers.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to make it up to Valley with just the skills he has. I mean, he could always try. LusTher not going to find his Sunstone here, unfortunately. We did see this from Meatshield already, so it looks like it's going to have to be in Horror Fields, or we're going to be going looking for grenade.
Yeah, wow, and LusTher does not have Ginso Tree yet, so maybe he forgot about that, and if Sunstone is over here, he could just like make the play for the final escape, which is programmed in actually, because we have this sort of thing with the logic that is known as force trees, which requires us to visit every single skill location before being given access to the final escape. So will be interesting to see, but there's 3 more pickups in Horu Fields where Sunstone could be. All right, and so now he's going to come over here and push this block to be able to check this pickup as Meatshield making the play in the Death Gauntlet. And so
he's also slowly making his way back towards where we know Bash is, so he might get lucky if he's just still clearing pickups.
Yeah, for sure. And so as we see Meatshield now progressing on through...
Sunstone!
Wow, LusTher finds the Sunstone in Horu Fields, and oh no, yeah, he's heading over to the left. He doesn't know he still has 1 more tree remaining. Oh no. So that's why he didn't make the Ginso play. I can't wait. I hope he comes in for an interview. We get to ask him about this. This is like such an easy thing to have happen. Like, especially in these longer seeds where you go in and you're just like, what have I done? What have I not done? Like, what areas have I checked? It's just like such a difficult set of circumstances to work with. As Meatshield now heading back into Lower Grotto to do the mini-boss. We both know that this is not Bash, but yo, nice. First try door warp from LusTher for his first visit.
He's going to have to get a second first try door warp.
Yep, and so now he's going to know that the final escape is not actually gated off to him. And with the Alt-P, he's going to see there that he only has 9 out of 10 trees. So LusTher now knows that the final escape he cannot start and needs to get 1 more to be able to finish through. He must be laughing, or maybe feeling a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if that maybe makes him feel a little bit nervous, thinking, oh no, we're now 50 minutes into the seed, and you know, I've just managed to get to my door warp, but then completely forgot that I've still got a tree to do, and if my opponent's right behind me, then if he did go for that Ginso tree, then you know, I could have just wasted a couple of minutes there.
Yeah, and you know, he's going to also find Dash here, because Dash was on Bash tree. So this could be a little bit unnerving, because Water Vein came up early in the seed. Double jump was the progression, and so he knows that his opponent most likely had found that by now, and could have made the play to get that early dash pickup. So that could be a little bit unnerving, because our runners are not allowed to watch each other's streams. And oh man, Meatshield just having the map open and maybe taking a breath and just trying to rack his brain. What could progression be with these skills I have? It's just so difficult when you have to backtrack across the map so many different times.
Yeah, I think he might be trying to make the swamp play now. Oh, but he's coming out from below, so he might not fight. You know, there are a few pickups over here, but it's just not the ones that he's after.
Yeah, and there we go. Only finding a Mega Health for his trouble. And now on the left, LusTher at the first mini-boss in Ginso Tree, going to be making quick work of it. Uses a Charge Flame to try and redirect the shot. Nicely done. But yeah, you have a bunch of quick play. Yep, nice in the charge jump to finish it off. And now LusTher so close to his bash tree. Yeah, there it is. Not even checking any more pickups. I like this decision from LusTher. The only thing he would really find here are resources, like maybe grenade or dash, but it's just like he has everything he needs to be able to do the final escape. And here it is, the bash tree activation, the dash pickup, 10 to 10 trees, sunstone and water vein in hand. LusTher is now in go mode.
I wonder how he's gonna feel just with the knowledge that that was quite early in their logic. As soon as they found double jump, they could have gone there.
Oh my god,
Well,
look over on the right. This play from Meatshield is just, this is so brutal, man. He's trying to do swamp entry from the lower portion
without
Ultra. Yeah, he needs Ultra defense here. And he only has 2 ability points and like 3/4 of a
point off.
Oh my god. Wow, this seed has just not been kind to Meatshield, but maybe he's going to head back up for that upper swamp entry, or be like, hey, maybe there's something I can do up here with this wall, maybe I can stomp it. And this is like one of the hardest things about Rando, is just giving this like skill display and being like, okay, now try and work through the seed. And we've seen LusTher been doing a really impressive job at this, but also Meatshield, like just making really smart decisions of which places to check for progression, but just finally hitting this one wall. But coming up here to this one pickup that got open with that weird stomp placement, and Meatshield's going to find his bash and be able to progress through.
Yeah, I was sat there wondering for a second if he was just gonna farm up the last XP that he needed in order to get that ultra defense, but does decide to go for the top entry.
Yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness he was just barely shy of having.
I believe LusTher got a second first try to warp as well.
Yeah, second try. Oh my goodness. Yeah, LusTher now in the final escape. Definitely going to be walking away with this one. It's like he needs his computer to crash and for the file to get corrupted. But really, just once again, impressive play coming from LusTher going through the seed. All these like really awesome sequence breaks that we've been seeing him pull out that are, a lot of them are really difficult, and just having good progression through it. Like really the only big slip up I could think of was just forgetting he had to do Ginso Tree, and even then that wasn't really that big of a deal for him. What a strong display here from LusTher, and not the easiest of seeds to work through.
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine Meatshield having any problem with the rest of this seed. I mean, the only thing that's going to be a bit trolly is where the Sunstone is. However, if he just decides to go, if he decides to just sort of look at those pickups, because obviously I don't expect him to go looking for many more skills. Because I believe that there was clean water in his main path. I don't remember where charge jump. I don't think wasn't in the main sort of path.
No, charge jump was in Misty.
Yeah, it was in Misty.
Deep in Misty. So now, yeah, Meatshield with Bash and Stomp is also going to be making the play for Valley. I really like this a lot. Just saying, I have everything I need. Already having Stomp the Peg, and is now going to be heading on over to grab his Glide Tree as LusTher is holding right. Time is going to be coming up for him momentarily as he works his way through.
Yeah, if I believe, we didn't see Meatshield get to the Stomp Tree, did we? It was just he found Bash and then decided to go for the right side. So he does still have one tree left over there. But most of what he needs to do is just clear up on the left side and then decide when he wants to go looking for Sunstone.
Yep, and time over here for LusTher on the left is going to be a 55-53, which is a pretty great time, like considering 25 minutes of cleanup after getting like bodied by the seed for like 25 to 35 minutes is definitely a really, really good time. And just like with that display of knowledge of various sequence breaks and what could be potentially in the logic is going to make him, I think, like a serious threat for making it to brackets, even having dropped that first match because he ended up getting paired against me. Just a really nice comeback in the second round, and going in with that 1-1 average into the third round. I definitely would not want to be paired against him again in the group stage, or the Swiss, excuse me.
Yeah, that was quite a clean execution, and as much as we didn't see the glide and wind restored really play much of a fact in terms of where progression was, just being able to check off those few extra pickups that Meatshield wasn't able to meant that, like, when Meatshield finally got those pickups, he had to then basically go checking areas again and just making sure that he didn't leave anything behind, because that wind restored was so early in the seed for them that
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
just having to go back for those few extra pickups kind of hurt him a little bit, I think, and gave him just put those couple of extra
Sure.
seconds on.
Yep. And we see Meatshield now working his way through Misty. Really nicely done so far, just using his dash and bash pickups as he's progressing through. And is, yep, opting to continue on. Nicely done. And is he going to get the charge jump pickup here? No, he's going to go right past it. Yeah, that's fine. But, oh man, only with a fraction of health, he cannot take any damage going through this section. And these slimes are scary because they're going to be putting things on walls that each deal 1 damage each. And, falls back into the spikes. And so, but nice save from there. He's not going to have to backtrack all the way through Missy. Just really kind of like the latter half of it. So nicely done. And we have LusTher on
defense as well now.
yeah, we have LusTher on deck, but we're gonna see if we can get Meatshield to also be able to finish the seed in time to bring in for an interview. But we'll keep you posted on that as we continue to progress through.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to see. We'll see a second attempt at possibly going for the charge jump. Yeah, he just skips it.
But yeah, here we go. Meatshield is now going to be falling down. Definitely has a lot more health, so getting through this section is going to be a lot more forgiving. He could easily damage boost multiple times and not miss it. But yeah, he died right there and had to go through that section again, and boom, right there was Climb Tree. But yeah, here we go. Nicely done from Meatshield. We're going to see where he goes next. I'm guessing it's going to be Sorrow, because that is the final tree that he needs to be able to finish out the seed. And with Dash and with Bash and with Wind Restored Glide, it's going to be a nice little cakewalk for him.
Yep. Should be really quick. And we did actually see that he did pick up the Stomp Tree. So this is literally... He's got this tree and then he's just got to go Sunstone hunting. So it shouldn't take him too long, because I believe he has checked most of what was... I believe he's checked most of what he was able to check in Grove already.
Yeah, for sure. So as we know, Horu Fields being the location for Sunstone, but how many pickups is Meatshield going to end up having to look at to be able to find that Sunstone? We will find out, but nicely done so far, using these rocket jumps to be able to bait that frog shot up. Nicely done. Just having that knowledge of that tech there and being able to get that really cleanly. I believe that was just like a first try everything. Just very impressive to see, especially out of a runner who may not have as much experience as some of our other more seasoned runners through it. Just really nice display here from Meatshield.
Yep. It's a shame we didn't see Gumon Seal anywhere, but you know. It's probably tucked away back in its usual place in Misty.
Yeah, most likely.
Vanilla Gumon Seal, yes.
Yes, please. Alright, and here we go. We see Meatshield heading on over to the next area to be able to check for Sunstone. Yeah, he heads immediately to that Swamp Teleporter, so this is on track for exactly where Sunstone is, but... Oh yeah, look at this! Is he just gonna make the play for Horu Fields?
I think so. Like I say, he's not really got much places left to check. I was gonna say, if he just ult-hard, like, he couldn't have gone through Death Gauntlet to get those pickups in the bottom of Death Gauntlet, considering he didn't pick up the charge jump, so he would have had to stomp the peg in Grove. But yeah, it just looks like he's just gonna clear Horu Fields and just go, yep, I'm just gonna clear all this.
Yeah, nicely done, and not checking the energy cell over there, but that's completely fine. And oh, Baneling! Oh, the turn the elemental shot kills the Baneling. Oh, that's amazing. Calculated. Dude, he knew that was gonna happen. Let's be honest.
Get down, Mr. President.
And there it is. There is Sunstone. So that is go mode for Meatshield. And the nice thing too is that he has all of the trees. So all he has to do is backtrack up here and then head on over to the final escape. And oh, nice save there. That's good because there are a few like easy slip ups that just like take it down just like that. Oh man. Wow. Oh my goodness. Dude, Meatshield playing with my emotions here.
It doesn't have clean water in the escape, so you know he can't take much damage in this final escape.
Oh yeah, he does have enough ability stalls though if he just drops his save right outside the final escape.
He already has ultra defense. It's just he doesn't have the he just doesn't have the clean water.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed him picking up ultra defense. All right, well that's good news for him.
He picked up in Misty just after he died the first time, I think.
Oh, good. Yeah, and so Meatshield, nicely done getting through door warp. That's not an easy trick. It's 1/60th of a second of a key press. The moment you gain control of Ori back after the game loads in, like you don't have any vision of Ori or anything like that. So very, very nicely done from him getting it that quickly. And he's going to be heading into the final escape. I imagine not too much difficulties. He has glide, he has bash, he has dash, he has things to break the floors and the walls and stuff. So it should be pretty clean from him.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to take too long, considering he does this on all skills. You know, probably not much difference, to be perfectly honest, other than the fact that you just can't grenade jump at
the end. yeah, exactly. And nicely done. Yeah, nice use of double dash, using C dash to get through that wall. Nice tech. And then he's
gonna go through barbecue.
Yep.
Fish strats? Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, fish strats, the last potential way that he could accidentally die, but it's worth it, man, for the frames. And there it is, Meatshield able to cross the line. Walking away with a loss here, he's going to be going down to 0-2 for the next round of Swiss, but still just a great performance. And there it is, Meatshield able to cross the line. Walking away with a loss here, he's going to be going down to 0-2 for the next round of Swiss, but still just a great performance from Meatshield. It can just be so like difficult to just try and figure out all of the possible locations that are left when you get like a really starved seed like this. But finding double jump in good time, and then also just being able to continue to progress through the seed and stick it out and finish out strong. GG Meatshield. But yeah, we're going to see if Meatshield also wants to join us for an interview. We have LusTher on deck, and we're going to pull him down in right after Meatshield crosses the finish line, as he has pretty much less than a minute before we are going to be calling time for him. Oh, he's already in here. Oh, great. Yeah, so we'll get words from him after he finishes out, and we will also end up bringing LusTher in. For Meatshield is going to be walking away with a 1 hour, 4 minute, and 54 second time. GG Meatshield.
GG's.
Sorry if I joined in here a little too early. I was holding right, and I just thought LusTher was in here already because I wasn't looking.
No, it's all good. Welcome LusTher and Meatshield. GG LusTher walking away with a win here.
Hello.
That was a fun seed, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Double jump and glide vault is not fun, but it's okay.
Oh my god. I was like, man, I'm gonna try and get up. Nah, just don't feel like it. And then I came back for it later and found it. That was annoying.
Yeah, so
really... Go on, Muffin, sorry.
All right, sure. Yeah, so talk a little bit about this. Double jump was the progression, right? And that was it. That was what got you the verticality to be able to find Stomp. But as you're going through the seed, like how was like routing out the backtracking for the specific locations? Like, did you kind of have a plan in mind the moment you found double jump of where you wanted to check, or was that kind of like a difficult aspect of the randomizer? LusTher first.
Personally, I was just deleting some pickups one by one, and I found double jumping glide vault, and not unfortunately Unfortunately, it was not in the early pickups, but I was no problem finding it.
Yeah, nice. You made the play to just go into lower grotto almost immediately after finding that double jump, and that got you stomped, and that like led to one of the trolliest locations for Bash. Wow.
Yeah, so my routing definitely was a little all over the place. I could have found double jump a lot earlier. Like, you saw me go into glide vault, get the lower pickup, and I was like, well, and I died trying, and I was just like, it's probably not worth my time at this point to just like try and get that upper pickup because I didn't think it was gonna be anything, and there was still plenty of stuff I could check lower. And then I came back for it, and it was double jump, and I was sad. And I didn't find Stomp for a while either. Where was Stomp again? It was...
It
It was,
was the HP in left grow.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the double jump gated one.
Yeah, like the poison waterfall.
oh,
so
yeah, that one. Yeah, that was Stomp. That was
Yeah.
also... So, my favorite thing about Grotto, though, was my last seed. I couldn't find Stomp, and that kind of lost me the seed. And then this time I checked that pickup, and it was 1 XP. It was trolling me.
Oh yeah, this one. I remember.
But, unfortunately, I did not find Bash until very late. But once I found Bash, I was like, well, that's it. That's go mode. So...
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask was, you found wind really late as well.
Yeah.
You left that one ability cell at the bottom of BRB. What was going through your mind when you actually found that? Because that was obviously something that could have been gotten pretty much at the start of the game.
Which one was that? Which one was wind?
It was the ability cell in like the main room of BRB.
Oh yeah. That's just like something I almost always forget to check. Like, I pretty much always am like, I should check that, or I could not, so I don't.
Yeah, because like every single place that you checked, and then we saw LusTher go afterwards. We were just sort of like, if there was any form of wind interaction, we were just sort of sat there, crossing our fingers in a way, going, please don't let this be the progression, because otherwise it might take you a while to have gone back for that wind return pickup.
Yeah, I definitely am not the best about checking that particular pickup. Yeah, I feel like my routing could have been a lot better. Also, I died like, what, 3 or 4 times in Blackroot early? That felt bad.
Yeah, Blackroot can be just such a rough section. But next question, going over to you, LusTher. It's just watching you learn and improve, like while you've been picking up Randomizer, has just been so impressive. And you had a really particular difficult sequence break in Sorrow, where you double bashed the shooty shark guy's shot to be able to break that ceiling. Was that something?
Oh
that
yeah,
you...
this one.
Yeah.
I tried it a lot actually. Yeah,
Wow.
because the frog me college was inconsistent for me, so I was just finding a way to do it, but another way.
So, did you not have rocket jumps when you went up there?
No, this was
I
quite...
get dash on my last tree.
Oh!
What was actually quite funny.
That was so trolly.
Oh, I got the water vein really early and just went immediately to
Yeah,
Ginzo tree.
I got the water vein early too, but I decided skipping Ginzo, because if my last int was in Ginzo, I don't want you to backtrack Ginzo once again.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good question to actually ask you was, once you found Sunstone, you actually went straight to Horror to do Door Warp. Had you
Yeah.
thought you had already done Bash Tree at that point? Because we were both sat there thinking, why
I
did
just-
you make the... Go on.
I was really stressed by the Sunstone being grenade lock. It was one of the last pickup I was able to check. So I don't really think about the bash tree, and I go straight to Aru.
Alright.
Nicely done. But yeah, once again, LusTher, GG on the win. Meatshield walking away with a loss here. No worries, I'm really excited to watch your guys' matches in the upcoming rounds. But once again, just GG, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
GG,
Cool.
LusTher.
Yeah,
GG.
awesome. Major shoutouts to our people behind the scenes. We had Uncle Ronnie and Didu trucking for us, just feeding us stats and messages throughout the race. Thank you guys, and also major thanks to Melvin for restreaming. Gecko, this is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for commentating.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thanks, well.
All right, great. Well, the action is not over yet tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be featuring another race, which is going to be on Speed Gaming 3 at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be Ico versus Shed. And then we have a ton of matches tomorrow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches in total tomorrow. So Saturday is definitely going to be really action-packed as we progress through. So thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you next time.